We had a nice coffee date this morning, and now we're getting out here before it gets any hotter with Meg. Because even though she got 2 short walks, she refused to use the bathroom until she got a regular walk. So, oh, she's probably really got to go now.
Yeah.
Whew. So we are having record heat here. And this morning I was up really early watering just to make sure everything had water. And tomorrow my husband's bowling in a tournament. And so we have to leave the house really early. So tonight I'm really going to get everything saturated so that it's not dried out by the time morning comes around, and then I'll saturate it again. It's going to be a rodeo in the morning so that hopefully my poor plants make it. And normally you don't have that kind of heat at this point of the year, so all you can do is all you can do.
That's all you can do.
Well, that and those quail have just been so horrible to me. They're so cute and pretty and hungry for everything, not just the seeds.
No, they're cute, they're pretty, and always hungry.
But we have a friend that's across the street from us that doesn't have fruit trees or a garden, and we're going to give her our seeds so that she can keep feeding them. So don't worry, they're not going to go hungry. They're just going to learn they don't get their food in our yard. That's the best compromise I can. Yeah. Yeah, I got it by the door so you can carry it over and give it to her. Okay. Because she just throws it over the edge. This is actually their yard, right? Is this Carol's?
No.
Oh, she's over on the other side. Okay, well, it's a similar kind of thing. It's a big outdoor pool. And Miss Meg is doing her business. And it's heating up, baby. It'll be interesting to see if this heat holds or if it's just a fluke, you know. I hope it doesn't hold, but I guess I definitely planned the garden good this year because I plan to only grow stuff outside that could tolerate the heat. Now, granted, it has to become accustomed to it. You know, you can't just instantly get heat. And the plants have to be established. Once they're bigger, they create a little shade for themselves too. So, a lot of TLC right now in this garden. But yeah, we're growing stuff like eggplant, tomatillos, hot peppers, squash, all kinds of squash and melons. And just because it'd be nice to have some flowers, some sunflowers, and I scattered some wild bird seed out there. Of course, the wild birds were actually wildflower mix, but I'm calling it wild bird seed because guess what? They were eating it. Gotta love the wildlife, right?
Gotta love the wildlife here.
I figure whatever comes up was meant to be, but after this weekend, I'm going to give the quail a couple days to come and go and see that we're not feeding them anymore.
Well, I think
I'll replant some things, right?
Yeah.
As hard as it is to grow stuff here and establish it, and you're like, wow, I didn't kill it in the heat, and then the birds eat it, it kind of gets to you. Mentally, yesterday I was a little fried between dealing with the powdery mildew on our roses, which jumped to the apricot tree, and having the quails just start jumping in the trees and trying to eat stuff. I was like, all right, and you ate my sunflowers too. That's my rant. They're sure cute though, right? They're cute little terrorists. And I was actually up before light because I wanted to make sure the rabbits couldn't get in the yard. Because they could also be eating the sunflowers, right? But it wasn't them because I could tell that they didn't push the rocks, right?
It might have been the rabbit.
I can tell because I saw, like, I actually have video of where it was getting in and out. It was really cute. It was like kind of stuck, and its little butt was stuck up in the air, and then it squeezed through. I'm like, here comes Peter Cottontail, right? But the spot that the buddy was getting through, it was blocked, so he didn't succeed in dislodging my rocks and the pool noodles. I know that's on your list after the air conditioner, right? Yep. Air conditioner comes first because we don't want to turn our grow room into an oven. That could happen. Don't laugh.
I might be able to get it up.
Woohoo! This is called How to Grow in a Small Space, right?
Get all that, yellow shit on her.
She's like, I like having yellow flowers all over me. I'm a girl. I'm cute.
Like it. Let's go.
Well, Meg got her short walk in after her puppuccino treat ride. And it's time for the big people to go to the gym. Right? It's time for us to go get some exercise. I was reading this article this morning by a guy that's 103 years old, and both of his parents died between the ages of 60 and 70, so longevity didn't really run in his family, but he lived to be 103. And one of the things he cited as being really big, he didn't say, oh, I eat cookies every day. A lot of times those centurions say, no. A lot of those times those centurions say something crazy and you're like, clearly that doesn't make anybody live longer. But he said the most important thing was between the ages of 40 and 70, getting plenty of exercise. When most people have more money, they're relaxing more, eating more, he says get more exercise and don't overeat. So those were the two biggest things I pulled out of it. He also didn't eat a lot of meat. That's questionable, you know.
He eats a lot of meat?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
That's questionable. Different people have different eating food styles. I'm not a big meat eater myself. I always make sure my husband gets as much meat as he would like to have, with lots of vegetables available. But yeah, exercise was his biggest message between the ages of 40 and 70. And he said any amount of extra weight you have on your body contributes to a decline in your health. So with that note, we're taking ourselves to the gym. Thanks for joining us today. Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.
We are going to the gym. What is it, Meg?